All right, it's Wednesday, so that means we're coming at you with your Nutritional Wednesday today. Coach Jordan is here, and I am going to be talking to you about how to read and dissect a food label, so we're going to get right into it. First thing you're going to do when dissecting a food label is you're going to look past the packaging, all right? Doesn't matter if it's packaged in a brown and green eco-friendly wrapper with the word organic and non-GMO on it. It might not be healthy for you. It might be healthy for you, but we got to dig deeper to know that. Then we're going to look at our serving size, all right? So we're going to flip it over. Now we're on the nutritional facts. We're going to look at the serving size. We're going to see what a serving actually is for that food. This is really important with things that you need to measure. So like beans and lentils and things like that we know where or how much of the food we can consume. Then we're going to go to calories, all right? A lot of us stop at calories. Well, we need to dig a step further, and right after calories, we're going to look at our macronutrients. Macronutrients are number 4. We're going to look at our carbs, our fats, and our proteins. So a lot of times we'll look at two foods that'll maybe both have 200 calories. One is primarily carbs and fats, and one is primarily protein. The protein option is probably going to be the better one for you to go with for a snack. While the calories might be the same, not all calories are created equal. Our body uses them differently. We've done some previous nutritional posts on what carbs, fats, and proteins do in the body, so check that out if you have questions. From our macronutrients, we're going to look at fiber. We want to keep fiber up. And after fiber, we're going to look at saturated fats, and we're going to want to keep those down. So fiber is going to be really good for our digestion, and we can subtract those from our carbohydrates actually to get net carbs, and that's what we want to look for is high fiber and then low saturated fats. Saturated fats are going to be found in a lot of man-made products and a lot of red meats. So we're going to try to keep those generally low. We still want to get our healthy fats in. Those are great. You know, our avocados and our almonds, and those polyunsaturated fats. I know that's a big word, but just think healthy, whole food fat options when you go that way. Then we're going to look at our sodium levels. Man, we consume way too much sodium as a culture. That even those healthy freezer options, it can contain excess amounts of sodium. That we want to be right around 2,000 milligrams a day. The average American consumes around 3,300 milligrams per day. So we got some work to do there. Let's try to keep the sodium intake low. Then from there, this is the tough one. We're going to look at the ingredients list. All right. So a lot of times we can, like I said, get fixated on comparing carbs to carbs. You know, we're going to pick up 2 granola bars. We're going to say, well, which one has less carbs? I'm going to eat that one. Well, that might be the best option, but I know that RX Bar, I'm just using them as an example. I'm not sponsored by them. Don't write me a letter. We can compare RX and Zone. RX Bar, they roughly have about the same amount of calories, about the same amount of carbs. RX Bar has more sugars. But you want to know what's in an RX Bar? Dates, almonds, egg whites, dried fruits. That's it. You want to know what's in a Zone Bar? It's like 6 lines of ingredients. It looks like a chemistry project. So with that being said, yeah, it might be higher in sugars, but the whole food content in that RX Bar might make it a better choice for you during snack time as opposed to the Zone Bar. And that's something that we generally don't look at. A lot of times we get so caught on sugars to sugars or carbs to carbs, you know, which one has lower fat. There's a lot of debate on that, but we're trying to give you some good, solid info here. The next thing we're going to look at, I just touched on it, is keep sugars and added sugars to a low. By the year 2020, every food label will have added sugars on it. So try to keep those to a minimum. Like I was saying about the RX Bar, sugars might be high, but look at the source of that sugar. If it's dates and natural fruits, that can be okay every once in a while. Now, once again, we don't want to do those every day or maybe 3 times a day. And then the last one, I talk about this a lot, is know the benefit of that food. Know what you're trying to get out of the food. Cliff Bars are a great example of a food that looks healthy. It looks like it's made for active people. Cliff Bars were designed for endurance athletes and outdoor sports. So people who are doing backpacking trips. The average Cliff Bar has about 300 calories, which seems generally high, and it is. They contain about 50 grams of carbohydrates because they're meant to give you quick energy because you're backpacking, you know, or you're doing an endurance sport or an endurance athlete. They need those amount of calories and carbs to keep going. You don't need those amount of calories and carbs sitting at your desk. So that would be one example of know the benefit of that food and know what it's going to do for you. Sorry I got kind of long-winded on this one, but I think that those are 10 amazing tips. I'm putting them in the description. Comment below if you have questions, and ask me for a handout if you want to learn more about walking your way through a grocery store and reading food labels. Have a wonderful rest of your day.